communicating with each other. So it's just yeah, it's details like that I think really makes, you know, world building so fun, and that's something that we really focused on in this game.
I love it. For sure. Yeah, I mean it's a new language, but you totally get what's happening. Like the way they talk to each other, communicate, the little chirps. It's
exactly.
So
it's a mix of the body language and the language and everything. Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Lana and our faithful companion Mui. But tell us about the overall story here, because one of the things I've noticed, you know, in the trailers, you've got these really beautiful contemplative moments, but then some moments with real like drama and speed and, you know, these big robots as well. So what's the overall kind of story you're telling?
Yeah, so what you can expect playing our game is really an epic story that would unfold over like 5-6 hours when playing the game, and we're really going for, that's what I think sets us apart a little bit in the genre. Like we're bringing these companion-based mechanics, but also we're really focusing on telling quite a classical saga, this story of this unlikely hero, of this 11-year-old girl, and Mui going through this incredible journey through the planet on this rescue mission to try and save her sister. And you come across so many environments. We have like this old shipwrecks that's been buried in this swamp for several hundred years that you get to explore, and you get like pieces of information that like the players that have more attention to detail will get more out of the rich like backstory that we've created for this world and the lore of the world. So that's really exciting. And then also all players will get an answer to why humans are living on this planet and why the robots have come and why they've invaded the planet and so forth. So yeah, it's really a classic like epic adventure that you get to experience with a lot of twists and turns as well that I won't spoil right now.
Love that. And we've got to talk about the art style. It just looks so special. Tell me about your inspirations and how that art style has evolved over the 5 years you've been working on the game.
I mean, there's just so much inspirations. I mean, I grew up with games like Another World and Flashback and Oddworld as well. Going from that concept art into the game that you
okay, fixed it. I fixed it. Fixed it.
And a lot of iterations.
Fixed it.
Because we wanted to create
Fixed it.
depth and immersion that
Coming back now. I'm back, right? It's working. We're working now. We should be working. Everything should be working now. Come on, y'all. Work. Yay! I'm a streamer. Woo! Right, let's put an advertisement out in the ground Discord. Why not? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I need a link as well. That'd be nice. Boom. There we go. Might as well do one in my own Discord. Maybe that would be a good idea. But yeah, 15 minutes. I'm gonna see something, some sort of interview, some sort of reveal. Could it be 0.14, the home stretch update, or is it going to be the 1.0 update? Probably not, but you never know. You never know. So I figure we'll show it off. It's only half an hour long, their segment. It's quite a long time, really. So it could be good. It could be big. It might be big. It might not be big. I don't know. That's what we're here for. We're going to find out together. We're going to find out together. So I am predicting the update will go live today. I do believe they're going to end up saying, hey, 0.14's good to go. The update's live right now. Hence why they was a bit coy last night, where I didn't say anything on the Casually Grounded. So we'll have to see how that actually pans out.
I can't emphasize how much that means to us, honestly. I mean,
you can't really hear them chatting too much, can you? I've turned it quite down until we're ready. Fingers crossed, I'll go full screen as well and get rid of the chat. But yeah, Grounded. Should we go through some patch notes while we're waiting for them? Do you want to do that? And we'll just quickly go over all the stuff that we know about the new stuff. Nothing's really changed in last week. They haven't added anything massive. They only added a few more rock locations. So there wasn't really like a big difference. So only a few minutes to go, and then we should hear something from... Now, I don't know who's actually there. I don't know if they're going to be like a video segment, because I thought it was only the marketing team that have gone. But you never know. Maybe there's some other people there. They're going to talk 90% about 0.14 home stretch and 10%. That's a good association. Comeback COD player. Yeah, I probably agree with you, mate.
It's just the right decision, you know. I think the players will be happy in the end.
Release the game prematurely. I mean, there it is. Nat Pets. Cookery building. Someone can't spell building. Is that meant to be done on purpose? That spelling mistake? Convert games to custom games, armor weapon upgrade revamps, and so much more. Well, isn't that much more, is it? Hello, Lee. Hello, hello, hello. Ron, hello. Convert non-custom games to custom. Yeah, people haven't really been noticing they can do that now. It is in the menus. But yeah, I do. Rest time lapse is super cool. That is such a nice little feature.
Thank you, Adam, for joining us today and bringing such a beautiful game. Enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you so much.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh no. 10 minutes.
With Shyla Scofield from Obsidian Entertainment about the much anticipated release of Grounded 1.0. But before that, we've got even more Grounded 1.0 content to share. We're going to hear from Phil Spencer himself and the creative director of Grounded, Adam Brennecke, about what we can expect from the upcoming release of everyone's favorite backyard adventure.
So what I like most about Gamescom is that I come together with different people from around the world that I usually don't really see.
For a minute, I thought that was Shyla. I was like, Shyla, you've had an image change there.
And Gamescom is the perfect opportunity for me to finally meet them and to enjoy.
This is big. This is big. I'm so glad I streamed this.
What I like the most about Gamescom, without a doubt, is the close community atmosphere. The best thing.
The close community atmosphere where we can all get COVID. Yes, and have 2 weeks off. Dying and coughing, and then spreading it to our grandmas and killing our grandparents. Well done, Gamescom people.
Prepare for this event. Thank you and enjoy the Gamescom.
Hi everyone. I have been at Gamescom twice, one as a journalist about 10 years ago, and one with the Xbox team in 2019. And it has always been very special for me. I had so much fun there. And I think it's really great to have in Europe a big gaming moment like Gamescom, where gamers can meet and enjoy video games together.
Okay, this is good. I'll change the title now.
This year,
I'm going to put Phil Spencer interview.
Was announced at Gamescom, and hope everybody enjoy it.
Big news.
Just outside of the booth, right when the gates open
interview about 1.0. That's what they said. So unless they're laying. There you go, I've changed it now. Don't forget to leave a like, guys. Also remember, if I get to 10,000 subscribers by the time Grounded releases, I'm going to be doing a charity stream. And we're going to be eating a bunch of bugs. I'm going to order them in the next couple of weeks. And you guys can donate on the night, and it will go to charity, to good causes, mate. And yeah, hopefully that will be what we'll be doing. Yes, that's my name, Sandstorm Boss. Well done. You've managed to at me in my own stream. GG. Do you want a cookie? Oof. We got an interview with Phil Spencer, Adam Brennecke, Shyla Scofield. Look, she's getting her makeup done now. She's with one of the Xbox team, the bird with the yellow hair. I don't know her name. Charlie? I do know her name, obviously. Adam's not there. So Shyla's there at Gamescom. And then they'll cut away to a video of Adam talking to Phil Spencer. Big Philly Spee. Philly S. So Shyla must have gone with Mikey. Because I don't think she was at the last PAX one. Because I know Eric didn't go, obviously. He was there. I wonder if Chris went. Why was Chris not at the Casually Grounded last night? Did anyone answer? Or find out why? Or is that Adam sitting there in the corner? I can't believe Adam's taken time off to go to Gamescom. Not like 3 weeks before release. There's no way he's done that. No way, Jose. So Mikey's the marketing dude, obviously. You can see the Broodmother in the background there. It's kind of cool. They've got like a nice little space here. I wonder if they're playing Grounded 1.0. Surely someone would have tweeted. Some Grounded fan. I bet half of them have played it. Who are these dweebs? Why are they all sitting there as well? What are they queuing up for? No, I don't think it is Adam. I was looking. I don't know. It's like, he wears a baseball cap and he's bald. I know that much. Hello in Australia. G'day, mate. Struth, you've only just called one now. Cache Rider, hello. There won't be juicy leaks, mate. There could be big interview. Phil Spencer talking to Adam, Shyla, and they said explicitly talking about 1.0. I was expecting it to be just a 0.14 update today, but apparently there's going to be more to it. Do. I hope they talk about. I just want to know about your birthday present. Is it your birthday? Is it on the 27th September? Yeah. The next 4 weeks, I'm going to be going Grounded mad. You're going to be seeing proper videos every day about Grounded. I'm going to be doing guides, tutorials, all the old stuff, revisiting it all, and seeing if I can get time to finish off a couple things, like my achievements video that we were doing, the live streaming, the achievements and stuff like that. It's going to be exciting times in the Grounded fam. Swag Dog, Screeve, what's up? 30 seconds. Right, I'm going to turn it up. I will shut up, I promise. Maybe I'll wait for this music to go because it'll probably give me a copyright strike. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I need to put just a little bit of gel on my receding hair.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer here. Really excited. We're going to get to talk about Grounded. Great game, a game I love playing. We have Adam Brennicke here from the team. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the game director, and thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited to, be here finally. We're at the end of the runway for Grounded, and it's a super exciting time.
Yeah, I mean, Grounded is a game we've been playing, for like a couple years now. Started in game preview, in Game Pass. I think it's been amazing to see what over 10 million people have played the game to date. I've played a ton. I love it. I can't wait for the 27th of September when we get 1.0, GA, story mode, all of the great things that are coming. To me, when I think about all of the games that we're building, one of the things I really love about Grounded is you find a passionate team, which you lead, a passionate team that has a real creative idea, maybe something that isn't exactly expected from the studio, but you had a vision about something you were going to go build, and that we could work together, foster, grow that to the point we're at now where it's getting ready to release. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wild to be in this position to be able to make something so creative. If this is the first time you're hearing about Grounded or seeing Grounded, Grounded is a survival game and you have to survive in this backyard environment. The main goal is to get home. We're at the end of our journey of building the game and with the community, and this is the final update for the full, complete yard.
It's the biggest update yet, right?
Yeah. We have a bunch of cool surprises, a lot of cool new environments that are going to be really fun to explore.
Yeah.
The team's pouring their hearts into it right now, and I think it's just been so fun to work alongside the community too, that we built with the early access and game preview programs. So many players have given us great feedback along the way, and it's really shaped how we developed Grounded. Right now, we're actually checking out one of the early adventure areas in the game. It's the hedge. You're shrunk down to the size of an ant.
Yeah.
And
actually, I think the ants are bigger than you are.
They're a little bit bigger, right? Yeah. The players right now are going through this hedge maze, and it's nestled on the side of the house. You're trying to figure out how you got here and how you're going to get home. Part of the adventure is exploring all these cool areas and environments of the yard. One thing that we're really proud of for our final 1.0 release is our story.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that really separates us from most survival games. And we spent a lot of time world building, adding a lot of characters and storylines to the world.
Yeah, I think there's, like, for me, I played in Game Preview, Game Pass. It was a great co-op game because we get together as our friends. One of the fantastic ways to go play, build our base. I happened to go visit right around the Xbox Bethesda showcase. It was fun to come out to the studio, you and I getting together. Got me re-energized, so I went back into the game, but so much had changed. And now I'm so waiting for that story mode, the setting, because the story, it's a great setting for a story, kind of have a guided beginning of the game. And then the sandbox will obviously just open up for players. And how will you deal with, like, I assume you'll have some players who will be like me, returning, of the 10 million people who have played when it comes out. And then you have other players who are brand new, where the idea of, okay, now it's at 1.0, now is when I'm going to go dive in. Like, you as a team, how do you think about those kind of different players coming, and how do you design for that?
Yeah, so I think the one thing that, you know, we want to invite all the players that have tried Grounded, you know, even 2 years ago. We want them to come back and try it again and experience the full story, experience the full yard, because there's so much content in this yard. It's a big open world. There's so many cool environments, cool creatures to find. But I also, like, for the brand new player, you know, it's a survival game first and foremost, but it's definitely a different twist on a survival game. There's one thing that we're really proud of is the accessibility and approachability. So even just right now, we're looking at the Broodmother fight. So this is one of our boss fights in the game, where you fight this giant spider in her spider den. It looks kind of funny because we have a arachnophobia mode. And that's one thing that's really important to us, is making the game accessible for all different types of players. We have tons of game options. So even if survival seems, you know, that might be a hardcore genre of game, we're trying to bring in a huge audience with a lot of options to play the game how you want to play. I think that's really important to us.
And we saw that in the community. Like, certain people just focused on the base building and building, I mean, frankly, almost levels or bases that took over the whole size of the lake, which was awesome. I think you're going to get a lot of people who
must have seen Parts and Spies video.
The boss battles and kind of the circle of collecting items, building up your crew so you can go in and take down different parts of the game. Awesome.
People built huge fortresses and spent an enormous amount of time building these crazy, crazy, huge forts. And then that gave us ideas of adding more. So we added mushroom bricks, and we want to add more building materials in the future.
Well, and that loop that you're commenting on now,
that's new.
I don't think that it's not always recognized how important that is. Is like, a team has a vision. That vision meets reality through Game Pass and preview, 10 million people play and continue to play, and then they're going to give you feedback, and that will actually change your production schedule, right? Because you're going to listen and watch what people do.
Yeah, even as simple as, like, sitting in chairs. I know that was a fun one that we put in like a year ago. That was a huge ask. Just like, people just want to lounge around in their base, right? They built this huge. Now it's something, it's to chill, right? One thing for our 1.0 release, there's a couple more surprise boss fights that we're really excited about.
Any hints or no?
Well, we did show off the Mantis. So that's something that I know a lot of players have been asking for a long time, to fight a praying mantis in Grounded. So we are delivering that experience, and we got a couple more surprises.
That's awesome. Well, congrats to the team on getting to this point. We're not quite there yet. 27th September.
Thank you.
I think for everybody who's played, myself included, I just love the craftsmanship and passion that clearly the team has in putting together such an amazing game. That's a great game to play either by yourself or with your friends. Can't wait to see it come out. And it's great to be here and get to show people more of the game. So thanks for all of that.
Thank you.
Well, it was okay. It was okay. There was nothing major there, but it's still nice, Adam, getting some props from the crew.
Conversation on Grounded. We have Shyla Scofield with us from Obsidian Entertainment to give us all the backyard dirt on the upcoming 1.0 update, which releases on September 27th. Shyla, welcome to the stream. How are you feeling being here at Gamescom?
I am so excited. You know, this is something that I've missed, being in the show floor. Watching players play the game, there's nothing better than being able to get something that's been worked on so long and getting players to watch it. So for me, this is thrilling. I am so
There's a
stoked.
particular energy in the room today as well,
Yes.
is there not? Yeah.
Oh, no, it's great. And I think everybody's just glad to be back and playing games out in public again, so it's fun.
Totally agree. Right, let's move swiftly on to Grounded then, as that's what we're here for. So some folks out there might recognize it as Grounded has been around and available in game preview for like 2 years now, thanks to Game Pass. And Phil mentioned something very exciting in a deep dive then with Adam, and that is that the full story is on the way. So what exactly does this mean, and how is it going to be integrated into a game that players have grown, pun intended, to love so much over the years without one?
Oh yeah, no worries. So there's a few questions that you get when you start the game, and that is, why am I so tiny?
Yes.
Whose backyard is it? And how did I get here?
So, all valid questions.
Right?
Yes.
You wake up and you're tiny, you need to know. These are important. So with the story that's being integrated into the current gameplay, you are going to be able to uncover these answers, find out how you got there, and ultimately, hopefully, be able to go big and go home.
I love that that's the thing you guys say.
It's great.
So perfect.
It's the best one.
So a reminder to fans that this is actually going to be the largest update that the game has had so far, right?
Yes.
It's going to be absolutely huge. So I would love for you to highlight some of both the big and the miniature, because it's Grounded, updates that games that players can expect are coming to the game.
Perfect. So we do have some things. I know Adam mentioned the Mantis fight, and there was a picture of it. It is huge. It is something that the players have been asking for so long. One of the most requested insects. So the fact that we could put that in and players will finally get to experience that fight, that's perfect.
I love that, like, of all the games that you could find in Germany this week, I do believe yours is the only one where people have begged to fight a praying mantis.
You know what? And if that's the case, that's perfect. I love it. So as someone who enjoys the spiders in it, the mantis is the next step up.
Absolutely, yeah.
So along with that, and like we mentioned, the story will be going in. There will be an expansion to the backyard, so there are going to be new areas for players to explore. Obviously, new items to craft and everything else. I wish I could go into specifics, but that's just something that we have a month away, so they could wait.
Absolutely. But there have been so many updates along the way. You mentioned new locations, but it's not the first time you've done this over the last couple of years.
No. So back when we launched in July of 2020, Grounded started, and it was basically an oak tree, and there were some areas that you can go explore, but all your stuff was around this tree. Over the years, we've expanded to a koi pond, where we have a giant koi fish named Trudy II, who, if you look at her, has a scar over one of her eyes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know why. I asked someone once, and they just said, Trudy's seen some things. So we leave it at that.
I was going to say, what happened to Trudy 1 as well?
That's the only answer I've got. But she lives in the pond. Players can meet her. After that, we went and we expanded the hedge, which is where the brood mother lives. They can go explore that background, get some fun stuff from there. And then we went into the haze, which was originally part of the official launch. But when we wanted to go back and do it, like, it was there, we were cool with it, but we had so many more other plans that the team was able to go through and redo the haze to make it something that they wanted. They added a sandbox, which has a very angry crab face that I love, because one of the first times you get into it, you're ziplining in and you just go right past this angry crab. So it's perfect. There's a picnic table, which has a tabletop game that is called Minotaurs and Myrmidons. Volume 2, obviously. And so you actually get to go through the tabletop castle that they've built, because whoever lived there left some miniatures and everything playing around.
So cool.
And then the most recent one that they just added was the upper yard area, which includes a wood pile and the termite den. So not only do you get a knocked over barbecue pit and you get to go explore that, but now you get to go meet the termites, which are always a blast.
Meet the termites. Love it. So how many updates have you done now? For those who may not have been following, how many are we up to?
I want to say 14, which will be, 14 will be coming. As many of our fans know, we do push out our updates onto a public test before making them go live. And this is one of the beauties about being on Game Preview and working with our community. So the one that will be coming up hopefully soon, because it's available to test, will be 14. However, I believe I've done 18 vlogs. So we've
not today.
For a little
not
while
today.
now.
Absolutely.
0.14.
And it's been amazing to see both the community and the game itself grow so, for lack of a better word, momentously over the last couple of years. And as well as that, receive positive feedback along the side. So now we're only a month away from the game's full release, as Phil mentioned, on September 27th. I want to know what that journey's been like for you personally.
It's been amazing.
18 vlogs. You've been there.
It's been great. So when we first announced Grounded at XO19, it was a very exciting time. It was a very you know, good anxious time and everything, because Grounded is not the type of game that you go, Obsidian, that's perfect, that's what I'm expecting. And so to bring it to EXO and get a first-hand glimpse at not only the announcement, but players actually playing it for the first time, that was just great. And so to see it go from those few who were at that convention, grow to 1 million in the first 48 hours, 5 million in the first 3, and then recently we hit 10 million. Like, to just watch this grow and to watch the team work with the community to build this game, it's impressive. Like, it makes me happy every time I think about it. I'm just so proud of what this game has become to not just the team, but the community and players.
Oh, absolutely. And talking about all 10 million of those players, I got to say, you must get a ton of feedback and a lot of requests. So, two-part question here. Number one, how on earth do you go through all of that and work through all the feedback?
Yes, so our team is very dedicated to knowing what the community wants. And so when I say they read everything, they read everything.
Oh, everything is read.
Everything. Yes. They are on the Reddit constantly, seeing what players are posting, what kind of bases or information that they're sharing with others. They are on our Discord, seeing what's being talked about there. Twitter, Facebook, any place that people are talking about Grounded streams, they're there to see what ideas people are suggesting and what they can put into the game. And so in order to have that and have a way that we can parse through everything, we have an official Discord where we encourage players to go and join the Discord and join the suggestion channel.
That's a great idea.
It is, and it's very, what's nice is it's very a community-focused type of way of getting suggestions in, because they can go and suggest something, and then the community can vote. So if it's something people really want, they can vote it up. If it's not something that they really care about, they could just leave it alone. And once these suggestions reach a certain limitation, then they're put onto an Excel file, and then they're brought in front of the game director and the QA lead, and our community manager and player support specialist, bless their hearts, they go through everything with them, and they make sure that the community is being heard in front of the dev team.
Fantastic. So my follow-up question on that then is, I'd love to know how the community has actually shaped Grounded over the years, and if you can give any in-game examples that actually only exist because people have shouted so loud about it.
Yes, so one of the ones, like Adam mentioned, sitting. Like,
well, yeah, we saw it just then in that clip. Who'd have thought sitting is what people want in their games?
It needs to do something. We need a buff.
Chairs and sofas, and so people were able to decorate their bases, and decorate them they did. But then it would just be like, come to my base, but we can't sit.
Don't you dare sit down. No.
So we went ahead and we were able to bring sitting to the game, and so now people can lounge around. That was one thing that without the community, like, without how often they requested it, wouldn't probably be possible. Ladders are another one, because people are building giant houses, they're building bases. We've seen bases take over the entire yard, and sometimes they build straight up. They don't want to spend their time climbing a spiral staircase, so they started suggesting ladders.
Ladders straight up.
And we did it. A lot of the suggestions that we take from them, which are great, are quality of life suggestions. Because they're playing the game. They know what they want in order to make the game more fun for everyone. And so a lot of the stuff that we've seen come from them that help are the ability to auto pick up arrows when, you know, you're gonna shoot. I miss stuff all the time. The arrows fly around the ground. Instead of having to go one by one and pick them up, you can actually go and just walk over them, and they're yours.
Saved you a click. I would call that the definition of quality of life when it comes to a game as well. Love to hear it.
So, perfect.
Perfect. In fact, I am curious, though, what do you think is the most unexpected addition to the game that you've seen so far?
Oh, so the most unexpected, and probably one of my favorites. So we're talking about quality of life, and I see this as a quality of life. Others may disagree, but one of the suggestions was an infected wolf spider.
And people asked for that?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Back when we announced the haze and we revamped it and everything else, we reintroduced new creatures in the yard, such as the infected weevil. Everybody loves the weevil. This one's better because it explodes. And there's nothing more fun than that.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then we also have infected larvae, and their whole goal is just to ruin your day, and they're perfect.
I relate strongly to that, I won't lie.
They're perfect. They're my little babies. I love them. But we didn't have a spider in there at first, so they started asking for this infected wolf spider, and lo and behold, We have one now.
There you go. I guess if you want that, then go for it. One last quality live check I'm going to go before we move onwards. I'm sure many people out there like myself and watching the stream are incredibly proud of the builds that they've been making over the past couple of years.
Yes.
So I just want to double check with you. Can you put our minds to ease that when 1.0 finally releases, we don't need to say goodbye to all that hard work?
Yeah, no. So the team is very dedicated with every update that they do to make sure all the hard work all our players put into the game is safe.
Amazing.
Obviously, there are going to be some things that we may not be able to find because it is in game preview early access. But that is their #1 goal, to make sure...
That's the intention, is to make sure that is...
Yes. And so they are doing everything that they can to make sure that when this goes up, everything can go through.
Well, I've said that for a while, but again, it's nice to get confirmation.
I would like to say that they would love to see people start a new save just to experience Grounded with the story from the beginning. So start over, you know, learn about the tutorial.
Maybe do a new save.
Yes, yes.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, because you can keep your other one.
Don't delete the other one.
Keep it there.
No.
But start a new one, and that way you can experience it, and then you'll be able to experience it because there are a lot of players who've been playing from day one.
Yeah.
The team has been able to make a lot of changes to the beginning of the game to where if they haven't started a game in a few months, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about being here is that we're talking to players, and I'm finding some who haven't played in months. They were just like, I'm done. Picked it up a few months later, and they were like, oh my God, there's so many changes. This is... And they've just been hooked because now they find some ease in this tutorial.
Well, that feeling of survival's come back again, right? I imagine, I mean, I don't want to put words in people's mouth, but for the people who are end-game building, they're in these massive mansions, they've got every material possible. When story mode comes along, they're going to be able to dive right in and they're fully prepared. So it's whether or not people want to really go back to those roots and that survival and get themselves from the ground, well, grounded up again, I suppose.
Yes. And the thing about the story, too, is when this update does come out, the story is going to be integrated into the game. So it's not going to be a separate mode. Like, they're not going to go through and pick new game, story mode. It's just going to be in the game, like quests and everything else. So people who have been playing will also be able to join the story mode without having to do any fancy stuff to get it to work.
Fantastic. And while we're talking about stories, you know I have to do this, so I'm so sorry, Shyla.
Oh,
Can you give us a little foreshadowing on the full story that players will unlock in version 1?
You know what? I really wish I could, but I know Omnet Practicals Technology is watching, and I just... We'll leave it at that.
That's fine. You got to try. What I will do instead is I'm going to jump over to the topic on everyone's lips, which is the brood mother.
Yes.
We saw her in the footage just then with Adam and Phil. She's literally right here behind me. I can see she's absolutely stunning.
Yes.
We saw some of the epic battle gameplay with said mother, and I'm just going to make some estimations here. Is that a final boss battle? Is raiding on the way? Can you tell us a bit more about combat? I'm so curious.
Yes. I love that you just automatically go to a final boss because
she's humongous. Surely,
she is.
Surely the mother is the end of the game.
No, she is actually the first mini boss players can encounter.
Mini boss.
That's a lot about where it's going as well.
Mini boss.
It's great. So, fun fact: when we first launched the game, there was a spider that lived on a flying Discman in the hedge.
Yes.
And that was her home. Players would go and disrupt her, and
she's just living her best life.
She was. And so the dev team decided to take her out for a bit. They built her a beautiful home, and now for the price of a BLT. BLT, bombardier parts, ladybug parts, and thistles.
So not a bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Yes.
Your own version. Love it. Yeah.
But you go and you build that sandwich. You present it to her little cove, and then she comes out and she goes, "Oh, thank you for the food. Oh, and your dessert." So you get to experience a little bit about that.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more about the combat then. So I'm approaching it from someone who, when I raid, I'm very much like a ranged melee type, but I like to surround myself with tanks, DPS, healers, etc. Is this the type of combat you can see folks taking in, that level of strategy? Also, to a degree, is there solo combat? Do you think you could take on the Broodmother by yourself?
Yes. So the one nice thing is, although we don't say, like, you can be this class, this class, this class, and all of the kids in the game, they are built the same. The way that we get to that and allow you to kind of customize your game is that we have mutations in the game.
Oh, okay.
And that is something that you can pick. So, like, for the Broodmother, there's a mutation called Reliable Friend. And for people playing with me, that is probably the best mutation to have because I die a lot. I just like to go in and charge and be like, "Hey, friend." Oh, no, you're not my friend. And so with the Reliable Friend, they're able to pick someone up much quicker so you can get back into the fight, because there are babies and ads that come in, and that could be pretty hard to pick someone up as you're being picked at by a few different spiders.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. So there is a way to do it with friends and get yourself ready, get all the equipment ready. In fact, is there any gear that maybe like you've eyed up? Because we were talking just before we were saying here, and you actually were doing that gameplay in the background of Phil and Adam's conversation. So as someone who's taken on the Broodmother themselves, what's your #1 tip that you could give us, maybe to prep and think about?
My #1 tip is that, like most people know, spiders are afraid of fire. And so if you get some spicy stuff on your weapon, spicy. So we have different modes, so you can collect mints and collect transmute your weapons that way and stuff. My favorite is the spicy, which adds a burning effect to it. And spiders do not take well to that. So that is probably the best weapon you can have. And for a ranged player like you, we do have arrows that are equipped with the spicy tip. So that way you can use that to fight and you'll be good.
Perfect. And then I can just run around the map, pick them all up again. Pew, 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 off I go again.
You're great.
Stunning. I love this. Right. The one thing that is really amazing about Grounded in particular is the fact that we could talk about the full release is coming in a month, as a reminder, September 27th. But like I said, the amazing thing is that you can go play it right now, right this second. So I want to ask you, for both new and returning fans, remind people where they can go play Grounded right now.
Yes. So Grounded is currently available on the Xbox Game Pass, which
this is Shyla's calling. This is what she does every week.
I call it the subscription worth subscribing to.
I call it theft. So I'm glad we have different words for it.
You know, but we mean the same thing. It is
we really
too good to be true.
The value is phenomenal.
And the fact that there are so many day one games, just like Grounded. It's
and so many of the shows we ever, the games even we spoke about today as well. All on Game Pass.
Oh, no, it's great. So that is like the easiest way that I recommend people, because then if they're done with Grounded, there's so many other games that they can go and explore.
Absolutely,
and that's perfectly fine. We're all gamers. We all want to see what's out there. If they don't want to do Xbox Game Pass, it is currently available on...
If I was there, I totally would be bombing them behind their views right now.
This is the early access game preview price.
Like the video,
I've announced that the price will be going up. So for people who are waiting for story mode before they actually go out and play, I would suggest if you want to own it, buy it now, take advantage of this price. Otherwise, Xbox Game Pass.
Get yourself on Game Pass. Absolutely. That's the main thing. So before you leave, and I don't want you to, but I have to say that before you leave, let's talk a little bit more about the booth itself. As I mentioned, we do have this amazing photo up behind me with the Broodmother. I'd love you to tell us a little bit about why that's here and why it's so important to the team to turn up in that way.
Oh yeah, no, it's great for us because we get to bring a piece of the game for players to actually experience. The beautiful thing about the Broodmother is that she's built to scale.
To scale?
To scale. So she is 17 feet wide, 7.5 feet tall, and thankfully we have her in a hunched mode, so she's not completely towering over you. But it's just amazing to have that and have that fan experience here, especially when we have an update coming out very soon that players can go and experience. It's nice to bring them here, say, hey, check out Grounded, and then when the update comes out, they can go and they can play with their friends. And that is something that I do want to mention that we do with this update. We have something else that players have been asking for. And although it's not out in the public, it's out on the test flight. And that is shared worlds.
Okay, interesting. What's that?
And that means, so if you and I want to play a game, woo!
We will, by the way. We will. Yes.
And you're like, you know what, I have stuff to do. And I'm like, you know, I want to keep playing. You can share your world with me. We log off, you leave, and then I can pick up by playing myself. And then when you come back on it, you join my game. And all the progress I've made is saved. And it's just a way that the team has been able to get players to continue to play with their friends. And keep that momentum going. Because when you get on a roll, like in a survival game, and you're like, we're building this house. And someone leaves, you're like, okay, I hope I can remember what I wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that rolls into the whole theme. We've spoken about it a fair bit, but the accessibility of the game. And I think, again, we saw the Broodmother is another element that is brought into accessibility. And there's a key word for it. You told me about it, and I would love for you to say the word yourself of what this is.
The Danger Dumpling mode?
The Danger Dumplings.
So back in the day, back in the Wii days, when it first came out, we do have accessibility mode, and that is something that came about because we're able to work so close with Xbox and their teams. And so they worked greatly to figure out why people, you know, have arachnophobia, what kind of triggers them and stuff.
There's loads of research into it, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, and we wanted to find a way in order to get this mode playable, so that way fans could play the game who are afraid of spiders, but also still felt like they were getting the true experience.
Sure.
And so back in the day, we called it's still called arachnophobia mode and everything, but we started to see some people here or there call it a danger dumpling. And it just kind of stuck. So internally, that is our name. So we love it. Some people find it more frightening than the one with the legs. To each their own. I personally love the one with the legs, but the danger dumpling mode is also perfectly fine.
Just a big spider gal, aren't you?
Oh, it's great. Like, at some point, I'll have a tarantula, but we're waiting on that.
I love the goal. Manifest the spider. It's going to happen.
It's happening.
Absolutely. Well, I know I need to get a picture with this lass, so if someone could just screenshot this right here, then maybe I've already done it today. But I did want to thank you so much for joining us today, Shyla. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the booths at Gamescom, though I have a feeling they're not as spider-infested as you want them to be. So thanks again, my darling.
Yes, thanks for having me here.
You're more than welcome. So now that we've explored the backyard, coming up, we'll be taking a trip back in time to the 16th century.
Bit disappointed. I figured we'd see something. Give us something more. Show a little bit more of the Mantis boss fight. Show the trailer for 0.14. I'm wondering why they haven't finished 1.14. It's a long time now. This, like, maybe they just feel like they're going to leave it. They're just focused. Let it stay up a bit longer to really see if there's any more issues with the game share. Because that's got to be like the biggest issue, right? So yeah, it was an okay interview. You know, for fans that haven't really caught up with Grounded, I'm sure that would be really good and stuff. But for us old OP Grounded peoples, that was kind of weak. That was kind of weak, ain't gonna lie. But it's what you expect at these game shows. They're not about to show us the like all the bosses, all the new creatures, are they? But yeah, still. It was good to like vaguely hear that there might be new build materials coming though. That's pretty much something new. And because there has been this perception from some people that Grounded's going to finish at 1.0, that we're not going to get updates, won't be DLC, won't be content afterwards. I've never believed that. I've always thought that was bullshit. I can't believe anyone would think that. Grounded's had 10 million players on Game Pass. Now, yes, lots of games get played on Games Pass, but it's still 10 million players over 2 years. That's a huge amount. They're making a TV show about it. It's not a series that is going to just die. They'll end up making a number 2, or they'll do lots of DLC for it, or they'll try and make it like Minecraft, or they'll keep updating it for sure. So yeah, like we're going to get loads of stuff like that. So yeah, maybe that's when the build pieces will actually hit. It won't be 1.0. Maybe they'll do another one. I have always felt like they could do. I remember that was my criticism of Grounded when it first came out. After about 4 or 5 months. Before Mushrooms, I was saying that, yeah, we need something else. It needs to be another colour palette. I would like there to be something more darker. There's got to be something like, maybe not black, but purple. Maybe like Lego bricks. Maybe you can melt Lego bricks down and you can make your own Lego walls. Or maybe it can be like, you know, you used to get like the squares that you could slot together as toys. And you could build stuff out of them. I don't know, something like that as well. But, yeah, I think that's it. No, we're not going to get a huge amount of news. I've been doing my best to see if I can get access to 1.0 early, but it looks like that's not happening. Kind of regret not loading up that leaked world when I should have. But yeah, it's kind of going to be good. It will be good. I'm going to be ready all month. I'll be making content. I'm going to do guides. I'm going to be streaming more. I've actually quit my community manager job. This week, it's my last week in the job because I wanted to focus more on my content. So I'm going to be here pretty much every day with Grounded content for the next 4 weeks. We'll finish off my achievements. Maybe if I get time, I might try and finish off my 200 days of Grounded. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. IGN has the worst chat. Yeah, these dickheads are all just like, oh, when's the next game? They're always a bit too early, so they just sit here waiting. Like, and it is the most boring shit. GTA 6, get out of here. They are. It's like pond life. It's kids. I don't know if it is just kids. But yeah, there we go. Their new game's coming up though. Grounded have got their new game, Pentiment. So I'm guessing they're going to be talking to, I think that's Sawyer, Josh Sawyer. He's the creative guy behind this next game. He's the guy that runs Obsidian. It's his baby. It's his new little thing. But you guys ain't going to be interested in that. It's not your type of game at all. But there we go. No more Hostile Mars. No, I'm still going to pick them up, man. I'm gonna try and rep Hostile Mars a lot. I think it's a cool game. Just the wrong timing for me. But I'm absolutely going to give it a shot. I might even stream it on my other channel this week. But there we go. He'll feel like a host. Nah, she was alright. I mean, she was reading from scripts. Obviously, they have so many games. For sure, they're not going to sit there all knowing Grounded. I don't mind that. At least they had Shyla, who had all the info, of course. And it's nice to see Shyla doing some stuff. Because I think she's like, I swear I didn't see her at PAX West stuff. And she's not been in some of the Casually Groundeds lately. So maybe that's why she's been getting prepped for this and sorting stuff out. So that was nice to see her doing that as well. So there we go, guys. More building materials. 100% confirmation. Your worlds will not wipe. The shared saves is obviously a big feature that's coming. And yeah, it is the final update. It's not ready today. When is it going to be ready? When's it coming to everyone? The 0.14 update. And I will be back, I guess, with more content. Maybe a bit lighter because I've got a week with my kids starting on Friday, Saturday. But I'll see what I can do. And then after that, I'll be on it for like 3 or 4 weeks. So I will see you, Ratbags, later. Thanks a lot and leave a like if you do. Really appreciate it. Laters.